Guys, I pissed off the bike. It was pretty cool.
You are in direct view.
Woo! I feel like we're making pretty good time. 24.
Huh?
24.
24? Averaging 17.4.
Pretty good.
What about a calendar pic where we're all standing like side by side, shoulder to shoulder, looking like we're peeing? Under an hour.
Or just do like a Peloton pee break with our bikes and everything.
But like, you know, awkwardly close where no man would ever be like.
How's everyone doing? So sorry for, what am I saying sorry for? Oh, maybe because I'm gonna eat during this? I don't know. Yeah, so as you heard in that clip before, this is the first time I tried to piss off the bike. It's really hard to do. It's really hard to do. The pros in the Tour de France make it look easy, honestly. The trick is you gotta find a slight downhill and then have a strong stream. Otherwise you're just gonna be, you know, shooting it all back at you. And definitely don't do it into a headwind. A tailwind is probably best because it, you know, kind of stops the spray. You're definitely gonna get piss on you, which sucks, but gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, we just stopped in that previous clip for a little break, a little nature break. So day 5 was our big day. We had we did 125 miles, and this group is the only 5 that did it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So we had me, Brad, Josh, Steven, and Sam. And right now we are just doing a little pace lining, which is good practice bike handling, and it just gets you mentally focused on the ride and what you're doing. And the miles just fly by when you do this, at least for me. So this is actually the most efficient way to get miles done, and you know, just the most efficient for the most people. So the trick is you have the least amount of time in the wind as you can do. And the other trick is you never want to surge. Josh right there surged a little bit and made me work a little bit harder because I had to catch up. And then I probably surged to try to catch him. The next guy has to surge to catch me. So that's what you do not want to do. You do not want to surge because that just screws everyone up. This is good if you are working together, you want to get away from the Peloton, you want to go fast, you want to be efficient, save as much energy as possible, and just get the miles done fast. So the trick is you have the guy in front of you pull you up, and then he goes and slots back, and then he just, like, you know, soft pedals while I go and slot in front of him. The drafting occurs when you're on the left side, or whatever side is moving up. That's when you get the most drafting benefit. When you're off and just soft pedaling, you don't really need a draft because you're not putting out the watts, you know? You're just, you know, chilling. So don't worry if the guy pulls too far ahead of you. Don't try to surge to catch up to him. Just sit back, relax, wait for that last guy, and move over as soon as possible to start moving up again. As soon as you can get in that moving up lane, do it. That's what's gonna save you energy. So look, I'm in the wind for maybe 4 or 5 seconds here. And then the next guy is 4 or 5 seconds. And then I get a break for like 15 to 20 seconds maybe. So you're really not putting out that much energy at all. It's really, really efficient if you do it right. Which means no surging, because that screws everyone up. See, look at that. I'm moving over as soon as I can. As soon as I can get behind his wheel, I will. And again, he's surging a little bit. And the thing is, he was actually complaining that this felt really, really hard. And I think that's because of the surging. If he just sat back, waited for the guy in front of him to go, stayed on his wheel, and then gradually went up, he would have saved a lot more energy and not had to put out as much power. See, now Steven is surging up this hill, so Josh isn't gonna get much draft at all. And now he's been in the wind for, gosh, like 15, 20 seconds almost, which is really not efficient. It's not efficient for him. So it's really about being vegan butter smooth, you know, vegan butter smooth. You gotta be mechanical with it. Just go in a circle, and everyone's on your team when you're in the pace line. You just have to make sure you don't surge. Just cannot surge. So we were actually going into a headwind here, and we were averaging like 22, and I just felt like I was chilling. And I think this route we did a loop, like a 50-mile loop. So we went out 20 miles or so. No, 10 miles. And then we did a 50-mile loop, and then 5 of the people were really tired after that, like the 80 miles or 60 miles. So they were gonna get 70 in for the day, so they decided to pull off and head back without doing the second loop. And we all went and did the second one to get the 125 in. So this is just on the second loop. So the first loop we were averaging like, excuse me, Jesus, 18 to 20 maybe, around there. And we were just doing a standard pace line where the person in front pulls for like 20, or like me and Brad were doing long pulls, like 10 minutes maybe, just to give everyone a break, because we were the strongest there. The most carved up, I'd say. So we were doing long pulls, but we're only averaging like 18 to 20. And right now we're just like chilling and doing 22 into a headwind. And on the way back, we were doing like 25 or something, like into the tailwind. We were cruising on the way back, which was really helpul. After you hit 100 and you're like, shit, I have to do another 25. That's brutal. That's really brutal. So now I told Josh, since he was hurting, to just sit back in the draft and don't pull through, you know? So he's just drafting continuously right now. Which was fine, because I know Brad, Sam, and I are really strong. I know Steven's going to pull off in a little bit because he's not as strong as us three. So we're just going to do a lot of work with us four for right now. And then Steven drops off and just drafts for a little bit. But it's really efficient. You got to do it right. You cannot surge, and you will, you know, save a lot of energy and go a lot faster. I felt like someone was outside, but they're not. So yeah, this ride was, it was all right. The one complaint I have is the road on the backstretch was really bumpy, which definitely hurt the saddle area for the next couple days, especially when I still have like 200 miles to go after this day. So that was definitely rough, but the trick to long rides like this is just stay carbed up. You have to eat a gram of carbs per kilogram of body weight per hour after the first hour. Doesn't matter what it is, if it's sugar in your water or if it's dates or if it's Cliff Bars, you just have to get those carbs in. You have to. And when you do, you're just gonna be, it is not even a problem. It's not a problem. And chances are a lot of the other people are gonna be a little bit undercarbed, and you're just gonna be, you know, the boss of that group, and you're gonna earn so much respect just because you're carved up and you can do a little bit more work when someone's hurting. They love that. They love that. So Steven dropped off right now. So right now we're doing a 3-person pace line, and I'd say this is probably the minimum. You really want 4 or more for the circle pace line. Anything under that, it possibly may not be as efficient because you don't get as much rest and you're in the wind a lot more. So it might be better to just, you know, sit on the front for a minute, pull off. Next guy sits on the front for a minute, pulls off. That may be more efficient with 3 guys, but we're just continuing it because we're having fun with it, and it was just making the miles fly by, at least for me. So yeah, you really just want to stay locked on that guy's wheel. If you can do that, you're spending no time in the wind, which is really what causes you to put out a lot of power. And just those short bursts of power don't really take much out of your legs. When you have to hold 250 watts on the front for a minute and then chill, it's gonna take more out of your legs after a while versus just 250 watts for 10 seconds, 5 to 10 seconds, and then you chill. It just saves a lot more energy. Saves a lot more energy. So yeah, as I said, this is the second loop we're doing. We had 2 50-mile loops, and then it was 10 miles out and back, or around there. So it came out to be 125 miles for the day. I think our average speed was around like 19 or something, so not terrible. But that's day 5. Tomorrow, I think tomorrow was a chill day, but I ended up doing 100 miles anyways, because that was my goal. That was my goal, and I just, you know, sticking to it, getting the carbs in every day, and sticking to my goal, and I got it done. Got it done. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you for day 6.